Mine unions play a vital role in advocating the rights and well-being of miners, from workplace safety, job security, fair wages, and other daily concerns and realities of miners. Today's guest is a key voice to the unsung heroes that power the global economy.
Tshepo Makofane is the chairperson of a mine union based in Secunda and working with an esteemed employer. His journey as an advocate for workers' rights began long before his professional career. Even in his high school days, he displayed a passion for representing and uplifting the voices of his peers. After initially pursuing a career as a diesel mechanic, Tshepo made the pivotal decision to change his path and dedicate himself fully to the cause of labor advocacy. It was during his time as a mechanic that he witnessed firsthand the challenges and struggles faced by workers in the industry, solidifying his resolve to fight for their rights, safety, and fair treatment.
Tata Kofi, welcome and thank you so much for joining us.
No, I'm good, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Sure. Look, this is more than just a job for you. This is a calling. This is purpose for you, is it not?
Yeah, no, you are correct. It's more than just a job. It's a calling to me.
Sure.
Because if I can tell you, I have to quit my career because of the passion. Yeah, because in life is how you feel. Because I believe that everyone is here to fulfill the purpose that when God created us, we have to come and fulfill. So to me, it's more than just a job. It's a calling. I can put it that way. Yeah, it's a calling. I found peace in this. So I want to die empty.
So look, where did it all start? When did you realize that you are a mouthpiece for people? How did that start?
Wow, it started when I was still in high school. I was doing grade 11. I remember my fellow student elected me to represent them. And then the following year, we're doing matric. We're going to matric. Then during that time, we're doing what we call matric dance or matric farewell.
Sure.
And then the principal of the school by then announced that no, in that particular year, there was not going to be a matric farewell. Then we were not happy as students. Then they approached me. They said, Mr. Makofane, because we've elected you, go and sort that problem. Sure. And then we went with the committee members. Then it was the principal, the SGP. Then we managed to resolve the matter.
Sure.
And then, the confidence grew. And then after that, I went to GS College after my matric. Then there I was elected as an SRC.
Sure.
Then at college, we call ourselves SRC. Then I served there. Then after that, it was time for me to get employment. Then I got the learnership in 2005. I remember, 2005. I trained up until 2008. When I was in 2008, then I joined the organization, the union called Tshepo. Tshepo is Chemical, Energy, Paper, Printing, Wood, and Allied Workers Union. Then I joined that organization. They elected me a shop floor. To make the long story short, then in 2016, then I was appointed the full-time representative for the employees of that company that I work for.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's clarify now the intent and the role of having mine unions at mine representative. I mean the union body. You are an important stakeholder in a successful running of a mine operation, and not necessarily a group of people who are, in loggerheads or against management. What is the role of unions at the mines?
Your question is very important.
Sure.
Our role, remember that as the union, is to make sure that we protect the interest and advance the interest of the employees.
Sure.
Make sure that employees are not exploited, but not only to focus on that side, and to make sure, because things have changed. In the past, it was us and them. But today we are working as partners.
Sure.
So we make sure that because we are all the partners in the company. If you look at labor, you look at management. That is why we will have what we call tripartite. So that is becoming government, the labor, and the company itself. So now, if you look at how things are happening now, things have changed because we no longer rely on Amandla where we just saying Amanda.
Yes.
Today, that is why there are this forum like partnership, where we have to engage each other, persuade each other. It's about superior logic. We have to understand the policies, understand what the law is saying. So things have differed. So I'm trying to answer the question that there is good relationship now, because the understanding is that we are one. So remember what is happening, Mahlono. As labor, we give our labor to the company.
Sure.
Then the company in return, they remunerate us.
Sure.
So it's not about win and lose. It's a win-win situation. Sure. So that if, as the employees or as our members are not performing our job, then there are so many things that can go wrong that can affect them. So when we speak to our members, we encourage them about the importance of this partnership.
Sure.
Let me give you this example of what was happening in the past.
Sure.
And in the past, in the mining industry, I'm giving you this example so that you see the difference of where we are today,
Sure.
especially this generation of ours. In the past, the mine workers, they were staying in hostel.
Yeah.
In hostel, they will have transport,
Everything.
obviously, because the hostel, then they are accommodated there. There is food, there is gym, everything is there. So, they just do everything there, go to work. Then the problem, it will come when there was a dispute. When there is a dispute, then the solution was one, is that we can put tools down, and then they still have those benefits, they still have accommodation and all that. So, but the condition material of that time maybe allows that. But today we are leading the different kind of employees. Those that I don't want to say that our parents didn't go to school, but the reality is that things have changed. The generation that we are leading is different than the one in the past, whereby now, Matonono, even an issue of a strike is no longer relevant. But then it was relevant when there is a dispute. They will say we lose nothing, we have accommodation, we have food and all that. But not to say we are giving in, we are just compromising. But now, when there is a dispute, then we understand that there is a need that we have to engage the company. So our role in this industry is like that, because this narrative that we are disruptive, we don't listen and all that is sometimes not the truth. The truth is that we are men and women with integrity that understand that we are playing a very, very important role in making sure that we move our employees and even the lifespan of the company forward. So I hope you get the picture is like that. So it's important like that we encourage and we make sure that we work together. So our role is just important like that.
I don't even want to move to this point, Adokofi, because it's quite rare to see the unions and management speak one language, especially in public. And I'm not saying it never happens. It is quite rare. So it's almost like this loggerhead thing does happen, or it's sort of played out. What's your reflection on that? Because in public today, it's quite rare, fair to speak.
It looks like that.
Sure.
But it's not like that.
All right.
It's like I've said, it's no longer us and them.
Come on.
We've moved to that chapter. Now we are one. That is why we call ourselves stakeholders.
Yeah.
We are part of the company. We contribute in their strategic meeting, in the solution for the company. So in our nature, Mahlonon, as the unionist, we are robust.
Yeah.
We are radical. At times it will be like we are fighting, whereas we are not fighting. That's how we express ourselves.
Sure.
But in honestly, and that does not mean there are differences, Matlon. Because I think when it comes into the public, because we represent our employees, it might be that we are fighting with them when we are being robbers, or we don't take a public platform together with them. But I will tell you, in the company don't go and communicate issues without consulting with us.
Yeah.
So that is an open and a fair relationship. So it does not mean that at times when they do consultation, we don't agree. But remember that when we don't agree, even conflict in its nature, it makes people to find each other.
Yeah.
So when we don't agree, does not mean that we are enemy.
Yeah.
It means that we represent our own cause, because we are driven by the mandate of the workers. But to answer your question, we are one. and that narrative that no, we are not one, we are different. It's not like that.
Sure.
I can tell you honestly so.
Sure. Let's look at an important aspect in the industry, and that is safety. This is a big concern in our industry. When you look at our statistics, and when you look at safety for the past few years, it's not looking good. I mean, 2022 we lost about 46 lives. 2023 over 30 lives. These are your members, Tatu Kofi. What's your reflection on that?
That what pains me.
Sure.
Pains my heart. You know, when you look at the resources and the system that are there in place that's supposed to assist our members, the employees of the company, to make sure that there is no accident. I will say Matonono is an issue of a culture. It's an issue of a behavior.
Sure.
Because those systems, I'll give you an example. I've went and checked the system, these life-saving rules. When I check them, I ask myself a few questions. Are they sufficient enough to protect the employees? I found the answer yes.
Sure.
They are sufficient enough to protect the employees.
Sure.
Now, you look at them, the second question in terms of if these life-saving rules, if they are followed, are the employees going to be protected? The answer is yes.
Sure.
So the reality and the honesty that we must openly come, in terms of the system, we are okay. The issue now is the human element. We must address that. It's a behavior matter. I'll give you an example. In somewhere last year in December, I was out of the country. I went to Europe. Then when we were there, then we were in a boat. Then when we were in a boat, then what happened? The driver of the boat, someone was controlling the boat. There was an engine by distance there, but inside it, when I look at that engine, there was no guard there. Sure. It's just weights to say don't pass that line. Yo. That guy was operating that boat next to that engine with peace and all that. Yeah. And I'm sitting there as a South African. I said, yes. That guy is not working safe because of what I've been experienced too. Then, I mean, when we stopped, then I approached him with confidence and said, me being me, my brother, I said, no, let me go and correct some things here. I said, my brother, but I think you are risky, man. I don't think you are working safe. I mean, there is an engine there and there is no guard, and why you don't put guard there?
Sure.
I was embarrassed. He corrected me, said, no. Look at that. That weight is enough to say, don't cross that line. You will only cross that line once the engine is on stop. And Matlo, no. But I even asked him, say, but you don't, that someone can go and touch. I said, no one goes touch there.
Because there's a rule.
There is a rule, and there is that sign. So now I did self-introspection, Matlo, and I found out that no, I mean, it's about the behavior. It's about the culture. Sure. And I further asked him the question that there are people getting injured here. I said, no, people are not getting injured there because there is a... So I'm trying to give you this narrative that Matlaonona is the behavior. Yeah. If we can talk to our people to say, because rules are there, let the people follow the rule. I'm telling you, this generation of ours is possible that we can realize a zero harm.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wanna rope into your personal space, if I may. If you can share perhaps an incident somewhere in your career where, as a union representative, you had to be in a space where somebody is injured or even fatally injured, and what that did to you and how that impacted you, particularly in your role as a union representative.
Yeah, hey, that one is emotional for me.
Sure.
But I remember there is this one time where I received a call at the mine, and then they told me that there is an accident. You know, when they call at the mine and they tell you that there is an accident, you don't ask many questions. You just want to see yourself at the mine and just find out what happened. Then when I got there, the HR informed me that the manager want to see me. And then I went to the manager. Then he told me that we had a fatal.
Sure.
And you know what's painful, Matlo? as a unionist at the mine, you are at the forefront. You work together with management.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make sure that the family is informed and all that. And in leadership, you can't say it is other people. I mean, you become part of that. And then it was very tough because now you'll find that the employee was young, the young wife and one young kids. So those are a very painful moment. It did happen, and it's something that I don't wish that it happened again.
Sure.
So that is why I'm very passionate about safety, because if we don't work safe, matlogonono, or employees are not working safe, it's not only affecting them, it affects many people, even in our industry. And today I had an opportunity to attend another function where different companies will come and they will have to give the stats. Matlogonono, it is possible that we can go for a number of years without injuring people. It's very possible because in that occasion, there are people who work almost 20,000 shifts without even a scratch. It is possible. So now, it did happen, and it was very, very heartbreaking. Even now, you see, I'm getting emotional when I talk about it, because someone does not have a father today. And their system that they are put in place to make sure that we don't realize that.
Where do you then, as a union person, draw the line between protecting a right and defending wrongdoing? Because I do understand you've got to speak for your people. You are the mouthpiece, you are the representative. But where do you draw that line, especially when it comes to issues around safety?
Yeah, I think we improve on that one, Matlogonono, because, previously, as the union, people, they think we just defend everything wrong. It's not true. We stand for the right thing, because remember that if people are wrong and you say they are right, actually we're encouraging them to carry on doing things wrong, because tomorrow they might even harm you. I'll give you an example. There are some clear-cut, situation of misconduct where people enter to work well intoxicated under the influence of alcohol. In those cases, we just go there and understand that was procedure happened. Our member was indeed under the influence. If we find it, then we go there. Then there is a sanction. Then people get corrected. So we don't promote that, because and I just want to explain that it must not be that when we go into the cases we represent it because we defend wrongdoings. But remember, Matlogonono, a person, that is why when they charge him, is an alleged transgressor. It's an alleged transgressor. So even in the country, you are not you are innocent up until proven guilty. So we've seen it, we've experienced it, witnessed it, where people, they were complained and we found that they are wrong. So that is just the process that we must respect and go to it. And we can't pretend otherwise when that process is that we will have, because it's an investigation where we'll put our fact. Not that we are defending, we are putting the fact that this is our understanding. We felt that he was not wrong or she was not wrong here. Then the chairperson at the end of the day come with a decision. So it's a process that is allowed, and it does not mean that we are defending wrongdoings. Wrongdoings, I will tell you, Matlogonono, me at times where I work, I take even platform where I'm saying, because we must have a culture and an attitude where we are not scared to correct the people. You can't be a leader and be scared about those you lead. And sometimes I know that it will like it's a sellout position, but not with me. So I speak my mind, because at the end of the day, I rely on my conscience. As long as my conscience is telling me that what I'm doing is right, then I will do that, irregardless of who is before me.
What conversations do you then have with leadership and your members as well regarding safeguarding the lives and safety of people?
The challenge we have, Matlogonono, is that, like I've mentioned, that there are rules, there are laws that have been put. Who put those rules and laws? Is the management. The management, honestly, they did their part. They put the system that makes sure that protects the people. So we have our members here. Now, our members must make sure that they work according to those rules. So the more job is on us as the stakeholders or as the union to speak to our members, to say, let's follow this rule. So not to say we don't engage management, but for management to say, how can we do it better? How can the implementation of these rules, be relevant to the condition material of today and all that. So the conversation is there, but in honestly, the conversation, like I'm telling that this is the culture, it's a behavior. So we are together, when it comes to safety with management. We speak in one voice. At times we go together to them, because we must not differ when we come to safety, because safety is very, very important. That one, I want to make it clear, is very important. We don't have to differ. We must come with strategies. How can we do to make sure that people leave workplace safe? So that is the conversation that is having. But the more conversation is with our members when we are having the meetings, we engage them about the importance of working safe.
Sure. Let's look at now the economic side of our industry. South Africa, the industry itself has been rocked by significant job losses, particularly in recent years. What conversations do you have with your members, particularly when companies are citing economic pressure and they have to release some of the people from work and Section 189A is then pronounced? What conversations are you having with your members when they are faced with those kind of challenges?
That's the reality we are facing in this country, where every day we witness people losing their job. But as a union, what do we do? Do we only talk about it, or we put action? The company, it is there for profit. And if there is no profit, then there is a clause, like you've said it, 189. Section 189, it only kicks in if maybe, for instance, there is no production and all that. So our duty is to encourage our employees, especially not only in production, but start with safety, guys, because we need a safe production. So we talk to them that let's make sure that we play our part. Play our part. We come to work, we produce safely. So we produce, then we'll be able at least to eliminate, because sometimes we are not in control of what will happen. But I think the role as the union that we play is to make sure that the company that is not under pressure in terms of saying economically, financially, we can't be able to carry on with this business because there is no production. So that's what we do, because if there is productivity, there is no need for the company to go and say Section 89 must come in play. And I acknowledge, it is there, but the answer is that we are making sure that we support the company to make sure that we produce what we have to produce.
Sure, and maybe let's look at some of the tangible things that you can do. And like you're saying, there's only so much that you can influence. And that is what you and the employees can do. What other measures that are tangible do you guys talk about when pressure is cited? Issue of bonuses, do you sometimes come in to say, you know what, colleagues, maybe we can't get bonuses, maybe we cannot get increases given these circumstances? Do you sometimes have those kind of conversations? And I can understand it must be a very hard one to have.
But being a leader, you are people's property. And if you are a leader, you are a weak leader, people, they will go to the river. And then you will remain alone. So we talk about those things. They are not there because if now we have to save job, but we have to make a compromise, like for instance, where we said, the company said, guys, we are not going to give the bonus. So what can we do? We go to our members and we tell, the good thing is about there is transparency today. We went to school. Financial report of companies, we can say, no, let's get the financial report. And if indeed we see that the company is struggling, because saving the company is not the work of the management alone. Will be then, which means we are not leaders if we will say we are not going to assist the company, because sometimes we have been seen that actually we are not even assisting the company, we are assisting our own. I'm the worker and employee of the company. So when I engage there, I must engage truthfully and honestly. It might look like in which position are you in? I'm in a position of the workers, but now, because you know what is so wrong. If you don't stop certain things, tomorrow you are not even gonna have an opportunity to participate. So we like issues of bonus, at times even the issues of increase. Yeah. So as a leader, you need to be bold and represent the right cause. To be a leader, you must even take platforms that are not fashionable.
Sure.
And one of those platforms is this thing when we talk about remuneration, when we talk about what companies saying we are having difficulties, union come and assist us. So we are not only assisting the company, we are assisting our members. Because if you don't do that, then we are risking that there will be Section 189, and it's not what we want. So I mean, we've passed that stage where we are going to be fearful and people, they will name that, yeah, why is advocating, speaking on the side of the company? No, it's the right thing to do. I must say it.
But I can imagine when your members send you to say, we want this amount of increase, and you come back and tell them, we are not having increases. Are you not sometimes perceived as sellouts?
Like I've said, we are people's property.
Sure.
When something good happen, it is them. when something not good is happening, no, it's this unionist.
Yeah.
No. Let me explain. You know, when it's time, for instance, for the negotiations, we are the worker control. Sure. Worker control. We might be leaders, but we control by workers. They give us the mandate. We go to them, they give us our demand, we take it to the company, then the company need to respond based on our demand. They can come sometime and saying, guys, here's on our financial status, we don't have money. We'll give you a 0 increment. So obviously we'll check the CPI and check number of things. If indeed we come and we see that the company is struggling, the company does not have money, we go back to the mandate givers, which are the employees. Then to saying employees, the company does not have money. Then obviously there will be those persuasion and then. But at the end of the day, as the leaders, we must be honest.
Yeah.
Because we have to choose. Because it does not help that we get what they told us is not there. Then after getting it, then people lose jobs. Yes. We'll be irresponsible leaders. So, and that's what we are busy educating our people, that it is not that always we'll get what we want. At times we need to compromise so that we still have jobs. So it happened in terms of them saying we are not sell out. I guess leadership is like this. When you are a leader, you must allow people to criticize you.
Sure.
You must allow people to differ with you. Sure. Like I've said, your conscience must guide you. Sure. You must rely in your conscience. You must be in a position that the decision I'm taking, even when I'm sleeping, I've taken the right decision. Sure. That is leadership. Because leadership is to be able to speak even the language that people, they might not accept it, but it must inform by facts. And at the end of the day, because when you speak the truth, later on, people start to realize because we are leading people who are thinkers. Yeah. The people that we are leading, they are thinkers. They know that if they can be put in their position, they should have taken the same decision that we are taking today. So that language is the language of employees. When they are saying yourself, you don't even have to get angry with them. Yeah. You must be guided by your conscience that I've taken this decision as a leader because it was the right decision to take. Them. Yeah.
Sure. Beyond workplace issues in Dr. Kofi, I mean, your members are community members, besides being employees at mines. How do you engage in broader advocacy, particularly in issues that are impacting your members in their communities? And I'll just give you an example. The issue of illegal mining in the West Rand, for example, these are safety concerns. I mean, there is even incidents where people lost their lives because of illegal mining. How do you as unions step in to sort of hold different stakeholders accountable? Because if there's illegal mining, it says rehabilitation may not have been done. There's gaps within the system. How do you hold stakeholders accountable to safeguard the lives of your members even outside the workplace?
Yeah. It's just our jurisdiction sometimes is the one that I think it playing a role here. We represent people in the mine, but outside the mine, they are leaders in their own right. You will find some they are priests, some they are running the NGO, some they are business people outside the workplace. So as the union, we can only influence when we are at work. Remember that even our general meetings, we hold them in the communities and all that. That's where we talk about these issues, because as the union or as workers, we're not only concentrating on the issues of workplace, even outside, because after work we are going to the communities. But it's a big challenge because there are a lot of stakeholders involved. But I can tell you that these four other forums, like the political parties and all them, our members, they are involved in, because you allow them to be free, which association do they belong to. But I can tell you, I've seen it, I've attended even some of the different organizations where I hear them, especially about these issues of illegal mining and all that. We make sure that because that it damaged the economy of this country. That's the problem, and that's the challenge. So now the slogan that injury to one is injury to all, it goes even after work. So our members, I can tell you that they are making sure that in different structures, because from the union, remember that there is network where and we have some where we report as the union, like in COSATU, for instance, where they will take our issues to network. So we participate fully, but jurisdictions that as the union, you can work up until certain level. Certain issues, they will need subs and all that. So yeah, that's how I can answer this. Yeah, but I can tell you that our members, they are very responsible. They participate in the structures.
Sure. Ntate Kofi, what would you give a message to miners, people you represent and beyond, who are feeling uncertain about their future in this volatile industry of ours? What would you say to them?
Let me say this, Matlonon. Hona le mantswe a Sepedi, seema sa Sepedi se re ditau tša hloka seboka. Di šita ke na re hlotša, which means lion which cannot work together, they can't defeat a limping buffalo. We will only defeat fear if we work together. These uncertain issues, they need us to work together. It starts there. We need to work together so that we make sure that we do what is right. So the message I can say to the people, and again, understand that we are the privileged one. We have a voice, we have a say. We are the participant of what is happening in this country. You know, when we have a job, you have a voice even to go to your colleagues and say, guys, no, let's work hard. So you are not an outsider, you are not a standby person who's standing there. So the message is that as people, we must realize that the role in which we are playing is very important. And we are the fortunate one. You look at the unemployment rate in the country, it's high. So us or the employees that are in the employment now, they must know that they are privileged. So this issue, we can't delegate our responsibility to anyone in life. Can make a contribution. You don't have to be a manager to make a contribution. You need to come and do what is within your control. If everyone can do what is within their control, I'm telling you, will make a difference. And that will be my message to saying it is very important, because this country needs us. This country needs us. It's more than our companies we are working for. It's about this country, that even when we are gone, history will judge us well.
Thank you so much for such insights. I impacted. I learned a lot. Thank you so much for coming through and sharing your insights with us. It's always encouraging to see the union commitment to the success of the mining industry. While inherent complexities in operations continue, it is no doubt that the union body will help us build a strong and sustainable mining industry. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and God bless.